Hello and welcome, it's Frances here, and thank you for coming back to my channel. If this is your first time, then I bid thee welcome. The purpose of this video is to address a query that I came across on a Facebook page, and the query was how to remain connected with your deity when going through stress or mundane life is taking over and everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Now, in order to answer this question, I guess it comes down to your personal relationship with deity and your own particular practices. So what I thought I might do in this video is just share some techniques that I use, especially when it comes to dealing with the stress, that stress aspect of it. And some of these techniques may resonate or may not, but this is just what I prefer to use. One of the first things that I do, especially when it comes to connecting with deity, is to have an altar of sorts available. If you are living in shared accommodation with others, this may be a little bit difficult. But if you've got a place where you can put an icon or an image or a candle or some incense or just something that helps you connect with your deity or deity in general, then that could be always beneficial. If I can do this correctly, behind me is my altar to one of the deities that I resonate with, and that's Kali, Hindu Dark Mother. And there I've got a ghee lamp, I've got sandalwood and rose incense, I've got an icon of her, I've got a symbol for Shiva, which is the passive aspect that she dances on. I've got some roses because that's one of her flowers. I've got a statue of the Naga, which is the snake, which I have a connection with as well. There's an offering bowl, which also has my yak bone mala. So that's my altar to Kali. I'm fortunate that I have a space where I can actually set up altars without having to put them down due to other people's sensitivities. So do some that could be a little bit elaborate. To connect with her, all I personally do is basically light the lamp, light the incense. I have a short mantra that I say, and a mantra is in simple forms a prayer or an offering, a verbal offering that resonates, and it comes from the yogic tradition, which can be found within Buddhism and Hinduism, amongst other spiritual teachings, and it comes back to the vibration of sound and how important that is, which is really big throughout the yogic teachings, and that should be a subject of another video, not this one. So lighting the lamp or a candle, lighting some incense, the reciting of a mantra helps me connect with her. Sometimes I would just sit, not reciting anything, not asking anything, just simply sitting in her presence. Mind you, I've had this altar here for a number of years, so it sort of has built up its living energy for her. So you may feel that to connect with your deity, you may have to do something a little bit more active, like lighting a candle. Candle connects our divine self with theirs, or some incense, or saying a prayer, or just saying hello, it's me, I would like to connect with you, and then remaining open. Another technique is probably the breath, which is very important. We need the breath so we can breathe, so we can stay alive. But within the yogic teachings in particular that are found within Buddhism and Hinduism and lots of other teachings, we're focusing on the breath because that brings us more consciously aware of the here and now. In the West, we tend to shallow breathe, meaning that we breathe to our upper chest, to our upper part of our lungs. We don't breathe down into our diaphragm. And it's through this breathing deeper into our diaphragm that it's actually been scientifically proven for various studies. It can actually help us de-stress, becoming more present in the here and now, more within our body as opposed to just in our head. And for those who suffer from anxiety and things like that, all of that's head driven. So the more that we focus on our breath, the more we can get out of our head and help the whole being as a whole. So within the yogic teachings, also within the magical teachings, there's a technique known as the fourfold breath. And that's simply breathing in for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, and then holding again for a count of 4 before you inhale. A demonstration, if you wish, would be sort of like inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, before you start inhalation on the 4th breath. If you're finding that a little bit hard, then try maybe a 4-2 breath. To inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, before you repeat the cycle again. If you find the fourfold breath a bit easy, then you might like to try increasing it up to 8 or even 16. Why it's in these denominations of 4, 8, 16, I don't know. It's just what I've been taught, and sometimes I've never questioned things. I'm quite sure there is a reason somewhere along the line. The purpose, as I said, of doing the fourfold breath is to bring your conscious mind basically an awareness of your breath. Within Buddhism, when they're doing this mindfulness exercise, they do the whole cycle for a period of at least 10 times. And if the mind wanders, if you find that you're not holding your breath for the length of time and all the repetitions, they start at 1 again. So it sort of helps train you to hold the breath, focus on the breath for a period of time. And again, it sort of helps ground you. Talking about grounding, there's a number of techniques, in particular visualizing or imagining a root growing out of your Muladhara, your base chakra, or through the soles of your feet, deep into Mother Earth. An alternative to that is visualizing or imagining branches growing out of the top of your head, but like a tree, and reaching up to the cosmos. So as you inhale, you're drawing down the cosmos energy to your heart center, to Anahata. And as you exhale, that energy flows throughout your body, down through your feet, or down through Muladhara, down the taproot, into Mother Earth, where it gets recycled and cleansed. Inhaling again through Swadhisthana, Sarasvara, your crown chakra, down to Anahata, throughout your body, down to Muladhara. A variation of that is inhale. As you inhale, visualizing energy coming down through Sarasvara at the top of your head, and also up through Muladhara at either your base of your spine, or if you've got taproots growing out of your feet. And these two energies meet at your heart center, and as you exhale, they move throughout your body, and they get replenished each time you inhale. So that's a number of techniques that I use. Another one, or probably the last one, I use is mantra. And mantra is a phrase, devotional phrase, or a prayer, I guess, often used within Buddhism, Hinduism, and other yogic practices. Often it's to a deity, but not always. Even just chanting Om is a form of mantra. Often a mantra is repeated 108 times, and this is why you can't have malas, which have 108 beads, plus the guru or the mountain bead, which is the N bead here. And this is just one of the malas that I make through my Luna Noir Etsy store. There's 108 because there's 54 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, and 108 is 2 times 54, so there's the masculine and the feminine. And again, it's through the repetition of the mantras, in this case 108 times, that we get out of our head, we connect with deity. And I suppose using mantras fine is if you're working with a Hindu deity, because these are mantras which are more associated with them. If you are aligned with, say, a Hellenistic or a Celtic deity, you might wish to write something yourself. And if you need any assistance with that, at some stage I'll do another video about writing your own sort of mantras or sacred prayers for devotional practices. So that's a few ideas of how to sort of continue with your connection with the gods, and in particular how to deal with stress, probably from a more spiritual aspect as opposed to magical, but I personally find the two intertwine very well. So I hope that's of benefit to you, and I'll do some more videos at a later stage on other techniques that I use. Until then, blessed be.